Welcome! Tonight we are going to be looking at solving real-world problems using arithmetic. And for some of you that might be thinking, what is arithmetic? It's just a fancy word for math. So let's get started. Our objective. We will be looking at a variety of word problems and solve them using context clues. And by context clues, I mean clues that are in the problem that will help us solve the problem. So let's get started. If 77 amusement ride tickets are to be distributed equally among 4 children, how many tickets would each child receive? So I underlined a couple of the words that I thought are really important. Let's look at some of them. So there are 77, that's important, and they're distributed equally. There are 4 children, and they want to know how many tickets would each child receive. So with that, I would do 77 divided by 4. Whoops, that's kind of a silly line. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to put my divide, multiply, subtract, like I've encouraged you to do. So I'm going to start off by dividing. 4 can go into 7, and it goes in there one time without going over it. I multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. And then I subtract. 7 take away 4, oopsie, is 3. And I bring down the 7. So I start again by dividing. So I'm going to put a little mark up here that's saying I've divided a second time now. How many times does 4 go into 37 without going over it? It goes in there 9. So I've multiplied. 9 times 4 is 36. And then I subtract, and I get 1. So now I look at this, and the question is, how many tickets would each child receive? And they're getting an equal amount. So each child would receive 19 tickets, and they would have 1 left over. Hopefully that makes sense to you. You want to make sure you label your answer. So 19 tickets. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next problem. If $77 would be distributed equally among 4 children, how much money would each child receive? Okay, so I underlined the words that are going to help us with the problem, the context clues. So I have $77 equally 4 children. So I'm going to put up here divide. What would I put next? You got it. Multiply and then subtract. So let's start off. We have 77 and it's dollars, so I'm going to put a decimal point sign and 0 cents divided by 4. And I'm going to move that decimal point right up in the answer. Okay, so I'm dividing. 4 into 7 goes once. 1 times 4 is 4. And then I subtract. And I get a 3. So I multiplied, I subtract, I bring down the 7, and I divide. 4 into 37 goes 9 times, and 9 times 4 is 36, so I've multiplied. Ooh dear, I'm running out of room. Uh-oh, uh-oh. So I've multiplied. Now I'm subtracting. and I get a 1. Okay, I'm going to move the problem up here. I get a 1, and I'm going to bring down this 0. So I have it right here. And then I'm going to do 4 goes into 10. I hope I didn't confuse you. I just brought this problem up here, and I brought the 4 over here. And 4 goes into 10 2 times, so I'm going to put the 2 over here. And 2 times 4 is 8. And I subtract, and I get a 2. And I have another 0 to bring down. See this 0? So I'm going to bring it right here. How many times can 4 go into 20? It goes in there 5 times. And 5 times 4 is 20. And I subtract, and I get 0. So each child would get $19.25. And then I want you to go with this one, and I'm not going to do it because I'm out of room, but I want you to use a piece of paper and check it. And remember, when we check it, we do the quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, $19.25, times the divisor, which is 4, and you should end up getting 77. So pause the video and you check it out and see if we did our problem right. Here's the next one. Each egg costs 80. Wow, that's an expensive egg. If each egg costs $87, how much do 18 eggs cost? I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but that's an expensive egg. So, if each one costs 87, how much do 18 cost? Well, what would we do? We would multiply $87 times 18. That must be like a golden egg or something. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it the traditional way. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 7 is 56, and I'm going to carry that 5. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 5 is 69. And then I'm no longer multiplying by the ones, I'm multiplying by the tens, so I have to put a 0 here. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 8 is 8. And then I add it up, and I get 0, 0, 6, oops, daisy. Oh, something's going weird here. Six. This is 16. Carry the one, that's 14, 15. And I have 2 numbers after the decimal, 1, 2. So 1, 2. And then I put a comma and a $sign. So 18 eggs would cost $1,566. Make sure you have the decimal point in the right place, and we have a comma, and we're good to go. Next one. Lillian has 82 boxes of candies. Each box holds 34 candies. How many candies does Lillian have? Well, she has 82, and each one has 34. So you've got it. We're going to multiply. So 82, and I want you to pause it, and I want you to multiply, and I'm going to multiply, and then turn it back on once you have your answer, and we're going to see if our answers are the same. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. We're no longer multiplying by the ones, so we put the 0 here. 3 times 2 is 6. 8 times 3 is 24. add it up. Hopefully this won't do silly things. We have an 8. That's supposed to be an 8, you guys. That is bad news. You know what? I'm going to erase that. Okay. So we have 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 plus 4 is 7. And 2. 2,788 candies. You want to make sure you label it. Don't get sloppy. You want to make sure that you label your answers so people know what you're talking about. Okay, now let's go to the next one. I think it's your turn. It is your turn. Yippee! So here's your quiz down here. It's quiz time, and here are the different problems. Write down the different context clues that are important, and the quiz is linked to this on my webpage, and we will go over it tomorrow in class. And if you have any questions, write them down. All right, that's it for now. Have a good night. Bye.